Hello everyone, I'm back for another movie review. As you can tell, this is quite a bit lower quality video than I'm used to making. I am recording on my phone right now, but that is only because I need to make this video. And QuickTime Player, which is what I usually record my videos with, is not cooperating right now. Every time I open it up, it says try new recording. Whatever, I'll figure that out another time, but for now, I need to talk about Avengers Infinity War. I'm sorry if I don't look at the camera properly. I'm not used to having to look at the little dot on my phone. I am a comic book fan. I always have been. I grew up watching superhero movies, whether that be Batman movies or the old Spider-Man or the X-Men series, or even things like Ghost Rider and Howard the Duck and Daredevil or things like that. But the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is really where I got my passion for not only continuing to read comic books, but really my passion for exploring film and the actors who played in it and those things. The MCU really changed my perspective on entertainment. I remember seeing the Avengers, the original Avengers, in theaters, and I think that's the first MCU movie I saw in theaters. And it may have even been the first MCU movie I saw, because I didn't keep up with movie releases when I was 10. But I remember seeing that and being absolutely blown away, going home, rereading every comic book I owned, going out the next day, buying more, looking up what was coming next, learning about the characters, wondering what the actors, what other things they had been in, what other movies could I watch that were similar to this, and that just expanded. And I have a very special connection to the characters, the worlds, the way they serialize the story of the MCU, how everything's connected, how it feels like you're really going back and reading another issue, reading another chunk of a major, big story. And Avengers Infinity War is the culmination of all of that, of all of my passion, all of my experience with film and comic books and the TV shows I watched as a kid and how I experience these worlds. And I'm incredibly excited for it. I had to see it a couple days late. I just saw it today. Today's Monday. It came out, I guess, Thursday after school. I think one of my friends saw it then. I had to wait a few days because I had a band trip, but that was painful because I didn't go on Reddit. I barely went on Twitter. I stayed off of a lot of my favorite YouTubers' channels because they were reviewing it. They're talking about spoilers, and that was, oh my god, it was awful. But I was incredibly excited for this. Don't usually get super excited for things. I like to wait and see. My high expectations for Ready Player One are what killed that movie for me. If you saw my my review for that movie was a disappointment. But yeah, I had high expectations for this. High expectations in the fact that I was very excited to see all of my favorite characters come together, but not necessarily in that I thought I knew what would happen. And no, I did not know what was going to happen. They completely threw everything I thought would happen out of the water. All the confirmed bets I was making with my friends, oh, this character will die, oh, they'll show this from the comics in the movie. Basically, none of it happened. Almost, maybe one or two things I thought would happen actually did happen. And that is a very good thing. They subverted all my expectations, and they created a incredibly powerful story. This is a spoiler for your review. I am so glad that I missed spoilers for this, because there's absolutely insane things that happen. So, just to let you know, this is spoiler free. I very much enjoyed this movie. It was an incredible experience. And one of the things I heard from spoiler-free reviews before I watched the movie was that it was exhausting. And I felt that as soon as I stepped out of the theater. So much happens. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just exhausting to keep up and remember everything that happened, and thinking back and, oh, wasn't that character there? This is when they met. This is who they fought at that time. They did this superpower move. That's my nerd brain going off on a tangent. But it's exhausting, but it's exciting. It's heart-pounding. It's there's so many crazy moral conundrums and characters meeting and characters dying. It's insane, and that is actually a plus for me. I did not take notes for this, so this is just completely off the top of my brain. But it's going to be kind of hard for me to get my thoughts out coherently because I'm still on a buzz from whatever the heck it was that I just watched. Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And that doesn't usually happen. But because I read so many comic books and I know a lot about the characters before I watch the movies, I don't usually get too surprised by plot twists like Vulture being the Michael Keaton being Vulture in the plot twist from Homecoming. That didn't really surprise me because I knew the guy's name was Adrian Toomes. So yeah, this surprising me was amazing. I feel like they really did a good balance for characters. There's a good portion of Guardians, there's a good portion of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Iron Man, and Thor has his moments. There are characters such as Black Widow and Groot and even really Captain America. They sort of take a backseat, which is strange, but because it's such a huge ensemble cast, I think they handled it very well. No one gets pushed to the side completely. Everyone has their story moments. Everyone impacts the world and the characters in a different way. But some of them obviously take a little bit of a backseat. But I did think they did a good job on that. The pacing I also really enjoyed. An idea I had about halfway through watching the movie is how amazing it would have been if they had made two parallel movies, released two at the same time. One focusing on like the characters who happen to be in space, and one about the ones who are on Earth. And then next year would be Avengers 5, and it would just be the actual battle with Thanos. And none of that spoilers. You know people are going to go in space. You know people are going to be on Earth. You know Thanos is in it. That would have been cool, but it didn't happen, and I can't do anything about that. They handled this movie really well. A lot of stuff happens. This is really one of those movies. It's so hard to discuss the impact it had and the powerful nature, and really even most of the things like editing and all that, because it's so hard to not go into spoilers, and you'll understand if you've seen the movie. Everything I said will make so much sense to you, but it's just blabbering if you haven't seen it. But I'm going to end the review here so I don't accidentally say who dies or get some crazy spoiler coming out of me. But anyway, this is a movie you have to see. It's at least a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me, personally. And I absolutely can't wait to see it. Probably multiple times within the next week, if I'm being honest. I can't even imagine. I'm going to be rewatching a bunch of Marvel movies. I'll probably watch Avengers right after this. But yes, amazing movie, amazing characters, amazing visuals, amazing soundtrack, and honestly everything. It has some drawbacks in dialogue. It has some awkward character moments, but overall, incredibly impactful movie, powerful, a new standard for the MCU in my opinion of what it can do with storytelling, and you should go see it. Even if you're not a comic book fan, it's such an engaging story with such rich characters that it's a must-see. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in another video. Bye.